Professor RR Dwivedi. The question is how to apply Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta in clinical practice.
Actually, the base of our clinical method is the Panchamahabhuta itself. Because whatever we believe and what Ayurveda says, that whatever is in this universe, everything is Panchabhutik. And whatever gunas are told of Panchamahabhutas, same gunas are also present in the substances which is made up of Panchamahabhutas and in our body too. As Susta has also told, Gunaya Yukta Dravyeshu Sharireshu Pite Tatha. Whatever the properties are told of the substances, that and the properties which is present in our body, both are following the Panchamahabhutic theory principles only. Whatever the gunas are Panchamahabhutas, those gunas are available in the substance, and those gunas are also available in our body substance constituents too. So in that way, whatever we are lacking, that could be fulfilled with the Panchamahabhutas only. Whatever guna is lacking, that guna is to be obtained and to be used from the Panchamahabhutic substances only. The particular guna and the particular relevancy of that guna with that particular Mahabhut, that is to be used in the Chikitsa, either for to increase anything which is decreased, or when anything is decreased, then the opposite property of that particular Mahabhut is to be used to just subside it and also decrease it. So in that way, whatever we treat, that's why in our classics is told that there is nothing beyond the Panchamahabhutas. And theory of Panchamahabhut is only the basic and applied scientific theory in Ayurveda. Whatever we do, practice in any branch of Ayurveda, maybe the Chikitsa, maybe of the Nidan, maybe of the Rasasastra and Devgun, everything is on the pivotal of the Panchamahabhut itself. The Rasasastra, when we make the new substances, new medicine, that is also the rearrangement, resynthesis and reorganization of the Panchamahabhuta itself, by which we prepare a new medicine only. We are doing nothing but only the alteration of the Panchamahabhutas to form any substance in the medicine as per our need. So the scientific base of our treatment or clinical method is depending on the Panchamahabhuta itself. Whatever the causes of the disease are the substances which we use in the form of ahar and vihar, everything is belonging to the Panchamahabhuta itself. And when we want to manage those diseases, then again we search the substances only which are having the dominancy or the presence of that specific Mahabhut which we need to increase or decrease. In that way, actually, whole practice is depending knowingly or unknowingly on the Panchamahabhuta itself. Only difference is some who are well aware of Panchamahabhutic principles, they are doing knowingly, basefully and perfectly, and others are doing but unknowingly doing. The management is done only on the basis of Panchamahabhuta and not else.
Sub-question: is it possible to assess the percentage-wise Mahabhutas in any of the substance or material?
Definitely. Because whatever the properties, as told, karma bhistonomi ante nana dravyasita guna, that by the action, whatever the action of that substance is on body, physical, on that basis we can assume what the properties are in it. And on the basis of properties and the volume or quantum of that properties, accordingly we could assess that how much which Mahabhut is dominant in that substance. Because Mahabhutas are representing in the form of qualities itself. We can't see or show the Mahabhutas, but those could be assumed and to be assessed and evaluated on the basis of present properties, and properties to be evaluated on the basis of the action. So in that way it is very much easy and one can do well that how much percent of Mahabhutas is in that substance. That depends on the action and property of that substance.
Whether Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta and Vimshati Guna Siddhanta are same?
Differently. Those Mahabhutas, they are also told as physical properties are bhautik guna. Those properties are definitely belonging to particular Mahabhut itself. Out of those Vimshati properties, some are the properties of single Mahabhutas and some of the combined Mahabhutas also. As we say, the Parashat, that is the Kathan, that is of the Vayu and the Prithvi both. Otherwise, only if the Prithvi is not there, hardness will not be there. Only Rukshata will be there. So in that way, the properties, and it is also well known fact that there is no any substance which is the single Mahabhuta can't exist in the universe. Whatever existing, that is Panchabhotik. So in that, whatever properties are there, properties are also due to that particular combination of the Panch Mahabhutas itself. Only single Mahabhut can't exist and can't exist. I can't show its property. So the Vincent properties are also of the Mahabhutas only. In that way only we manage it. For the practical purpose, we on the basis of Bhautik Gunas only select the substances to use it. If we require the Guru and Manda and the Kathin property, then we select the Parthiv dominant substances. If we require Siddha and Mradu, then we select the Jal Mahabhut dominant substances. If we require Ruksha and Chal and the properties, then we use the Vayu Mahabhut dominant substances. According to whatever the property we need to increase or decrease, accordingly we select the substances. The Panchabhotik substances are being selected on the basis of the Vinshad Gunas only. Otherwise, there is no any way to select the substances. That's why Guna is told as the Karan, and Karan in the form of selection. Only any substance is being selected on the basis of presence of that property in it, and that property is always belonging to the dominancy of that particular Mahabhut, which is present in that substance.
How to promote pure Ayurvedic practice among the learned BAMS or MD doctors, which is lacking nowadays?
This is again, since I am belonging to the discipline of basic prevention, I always emphasize, till our scholars or the physicians or doctors, they don't know the fundamental principles of Ayurveda, then they will not be able and assess and select neither they can select the drug, nor they can diagnose the disease. So first, the principles of Ayurveda are very much important need to understand well them. If they well acquainted with the principles of Ayurveda, especially the basic principles of Ayurveda, then they will be able to diagnose well and also to treat them. Otherwise, the use of practice of Ayurveda is difficult to everybody and made difficult to anybody. Need is to know the fundamental principles. On that, the diagnosis will also be on the basis of our Panchadhan theory only. If we are able to correlate the sign and symptoms with the Nidanas, and also the way how to they are as some topic told, how with which process those becomes vitiated and those becomes aggregated, provoked, and how they gone through with the 6 stages of the disease. And if we know well the samprapti, that how the disease taken place, then accordingly we can go for samprapti vikhlana chikitsa. These substances, the principles and the method diagnosis are not very much clear to our scholars and the physicians. That's why they face difficulty to practice Ayurveda purely or only and only. There is no question of pure and impure Ayurveda. That question is only to practice Ayurveda. Ayurveda is itself a pure Ayurveda. We need not to put the term as the pure and impure Ayurveda. Ayurveda itself is pure. But need is to understand the principles and apply accordingly in practice. Then it will be Ayurvedic practice and successful practice.
What is the role of Manas in diagnosis and treatment?
Ayurveda has very perfect theory that there is no any separate status of body and mind. Person is always having these 3 status are forces togetherly. Sharir, Indi, Sattva and Atma. When in deformity, when any illness comes in the body, it definitely affects to the Indriyas, to the Manas also. If any problem with Indriya and Manas, that also affecting to the body. So in that way, there is different role of Manas, and Manas is so subtler and Indriyas are so subtle that they get easily affected and first affected, and they show more affected than the body itself. Body is a grass. That could be assessed later on. But in any condition, mind, the man and the Indriyas, they quickly get affected and they quickly show that effect. Even when person is not having the appetite, body will not say, but man and Indriyas will say, I don't like, I don't want to eat. So effect is always subtlest, that is energetic, that is getting first involved, and the physic is later on. So in that way there is need to just first to think over that always all the 3 are togetherly affected, and that depends on physician that, and also on the patient, that how he represents himself. Some may represent in the way that their money is affected, some are just saying that body is affected, that way of presentation may be different, but for understanding it is well versed and definite decision that all together all the three are getting effect, and that effect could be shown anywhere and everywhere in the body, either on the mind, senses, and also on the physical.
What one has to do to be thorough in fundamental principles of Ayurveda?
Only way to first learn them, understand them, and apply them. Without learning, there is no understanding, and without understanding, there is no practice. So in that way, better to know and follow and discuss with such persons as told Satadadhyanam Vada Paratantablokanam and Sadvidya Acharya Seva, that follow and discuss with the persons of expertise in that particular subject. And first need is to understand the basic principles well, and then after understanding, apply them. Without reading and without understanding, application will not be possible. So recognize that we are neither learning or not, without learning we are not understanding, then there is no question of application.
Whether all Ayurvedic principles can be applied in present day busy life?
Exactly, as per the place and the time, alteration, modification to be done accordingly. One can plan every life. Though there are several works, even though in those works we are just searching the time for several works at the time to time, accordingly one has to plan, and there is no need only follow just word to word, just step to step, makshika sthane makshika for the other principles. There is the application and principles, both are different, but way to how apply, when apply, and who to apply, that depends on situation and conditions. According to Desh and Kal, person has to modify them, use them. There is no any doubt about their perfectness and their the truthness and their validness. The questions, our principles, the lifestyles, they are well defined. Need is as per time, as per the situation, condition, person to modify them and use it.
As all Ayurvedic texts are in Sanskrit, how to convey the original theme of Ayurveda to non-Sanskrit people, especially foreigners?
Actually, this is again the same thing. Pathy doesn't remain in language. It is the knowledge. Knowledge and language is only the transforming media. Better that whatever you want to say, may the exact word may not be there, need not translate each and every word and term, but the idea behind it and the principle behind it, that is to be spoken, to be explained well in any language. This is also again blame that the person who don't know Sanskrit, they can't know the Ayurvedic, could not, but needed for understanding, knowledge of Sanskrit is needed. But after understanding, who knows, he can define well it in the several manners, several language, and who don't know, he can't explain even in Sanskrit or in any language. So understanding, first thing, if you know that one of my teacher was saying that what is the best way of teaching, he was saying always that you have something clear ideas in your mind, that is best way of teaching. If you have not clear idea, then you can't teach it. So language is just media, not the ways for the knowledge. One can define it in any language. The several pathis are there which are not in the English itself. Chinese pathi is popularized on the own language. They don't need the language. In the way that one can understand well with the Sanskrit, but apply it and use it and explain it in any language. So it is not the question for the language.
What is the advice to your upcoming students as well as graduates?
Only that we don't say to trust it, to believe it. I said to understand it. I never say to accept Ayurveda, just keep your Shraddha and Bhavana, that it is the Vedic science or whatsoever. It is purely science, very practical science. You just challenge it, prove it, get confidence and practice it. So need it to make efforts to understand it, and only to just show and tell them that accept it, this is very much wrong, and that happen only with the Ayurveda. That only person that accept it never understand it. Only who understand, they are the well aware of. Need to create the understanding, clarification of thoughts and views of Ayurveda. If they will understand, definitely they will be good learner, they will be a good teacher, they will be a good practitioner, they will be a good researcher. Otherwise, without understanding, there is no question that the confidence may come in the physician or teachers and the scholars.
Thank you, sir. If you are having any special query, you can ask.
Nowadays, research methodology are to be taught by basic people. What is your opinion about that research methodology and basic principle?
Okay, no problem. Whatever, our classics are very much rich of all these methods. But only the lacuna is that we people are searching towards else. We are just try to present ourselves in the other views. We are not trying to present ourselves in our own views. Ayurveda has its teaching method, it's a diagnostic method, it's a research method. But even though there are much more pressure on the Ayurvedic field, on the institutions and the researchers, just follow the modern research methodology, which that could not be possible. Way to cook the food and to eat the food, both are different things. In that way, there is need, if you want to search the Ayurveda, the need is to follow the research methodology of Ayurveda, and whatever research methodology Ayurveda, that is much more rich than the modern research methodology. Only and only the Anuman Pariksha, which is the laboratory method, that is used by the modern researchers. And other 3-4 methods are with Ayurveda. If that could be used, then it will be the complete research methodology. So in my view, Ayurveda has its own complete research methodology. But only the problem that we are following the others, not our own research methodology. In that, if we follow, then definitely it could be develop the Ayurvedic research. There is no need. We are in the clinical research, we are trying the anti-diabetic drugs. Research and anti-diabetic drugs are just to lower the glucose level. That is not Ayurvedic research. Our research is supposed to be how to cure, how to make the samta of the vightan of the prameha. And we are supposed to see the dosha and dusyas, which are main contents of the disease. What effect is going on dosha and dusyas, what is the status of dosha and dusyas before treatment, and what effect of the treatment is happening. If we treat like that, then it will be helpful and to enrich the knowledge of Ayurveda. Otherwise, one may search anti-diabetic, hypoglycemic, but it will not be the prameha research or prameha nidan chikitsa. In that way, some people may say that you are living on that. I say, in the support, you could take the modern research methods, tools and techniques. But even though it is supposed to help the Ayurvedic tools and techniques also, that till we don't know what effect on doshas and dusyas and sotas on body is, till that if we don't know and we don't assess it, that is not with the Ayurvedic research.
Sir, as you said that all the principles of Padartha Vigyan are very much useful in clinics and can be applied everywhere. But at present, there is no single textbook which have all these concepts and from where students can read and understand Padartha Vigyan easily. So it becomes very much difficult to make them understand, because all the examples of Padartha Vigyan books are from Darshana and there is no applied examples present in a book. So what can be done for that?
It is true that whosoever the authors, they are just making the compilation and collection and then representation or publication. The own views, the experiences, and as per the need and as per their utility, particularly in the clinical methods, such type of the writings and the publications are not available. And I accept this, my lacuna I know well. I can example, I use it, apply it and giving example. But my lacuna that I could not wrote such book, though it is in with our views. But I am not satisfied till yet. That's why it is not coming in the way to get it printed. But I am just spoken, my scholars are there whom I given my views. I think so that they are the published books of mine. In that way, if they advocate it, then it will become to possible to get everyone. And I will try to publish it if possible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.